Welcome back. So we just saw Lin down there clinching the men's singles title. Now we've got coming up the ladies singles, Tine BAUN versus Wang Jing of China. An interesting matchup. Tine BAUN, a former world #1, and same as Wang Jing. Tine BAUN really have not played that well in the last few months, and she actually hasn't been in a final since last June. Wang has actually won 4 tournaments this year. So Kiki, how do we think this one's going to go?
Well, I really think it's going to be a much closer contest than the game before. The last time they played, it was a very close affair, and the Tine BAUN just coming off injury. She's looking like she's getting healthy, and I think she's going to work very hard to get herself back into the ranking, because, of course, for her as well, she's too far down, and it's not a good place to be into the Olympics next year.
Of course, Wang, world #3. Tine BAUN slipped down to world #7 now. At the age of 32, I would imagine that this next Olympics London will be her last. And, you know, she's obviously going to have a big push this year. And she actually beat the defending champion in the semi-finals, playing very, very well.
Yeah, she is in very good form this week, you have to say then. And Tine BAUN, of course, she used to be under the name Tina Rasmussen before she married Martin BAUN, who is the physiotherapist of the Danish national team. And I think between himself and her, they're going to make sure that she's going to get healthy and get a lot of badminton, and she's going to pick her spots, play the tournament that she needs, and get herself hopefully within the top 5 or 6 at least in the world before we get into the Olympics ranking, and that way try to avoid having to play one of the heavy hitters very early on in the preliminary stages.
Yes, of course, as you said earlier, top 4 seeds really obviously have a much better time, not having to play the better players. And as we can see on screen, the 2 players lined up for the final, and their respective games getting to that final. And as we can see, Tine BAUN beating Wang Xingzhu, the #1 seed in the semis. That match going to 3 sets, and a very, very good match, and enjoyed by everybody, except perhaps the crowd in Hong Kong.
Well, and the thing to take note of is, of course, that Tine BAUN was taken to three games, and I think for her that is very important, because physically that is her strength. You know, her movement, her conditioning usually is what is her strength, and having played that one more game, I think perhaps could really be advantage for Wang Jing, which looks like she had a straighter access to the finals, and she might just be a little bit fresher. So I think it's going to be very important for Tine BAUN to close this off in 2 games.
So as you say, Wang Jing seeded 3 in the world at the moment. She was a former world #1 sometime last year, and of course picked up 4 titles. She comes onto court here in Malaysia, Denmark, France and Singapore, and of course was runner-up in the World Championships and the Asian Games. So a good pedigree, and you know, it's going to be a tough game for BAUN this afternoon.
It is, and this left-hander, this girl, is very, very talented. And one of the things that she'll be striving for is to perhaps become the #1 choice for the Chinese Olympic Committee, to be the one that they want to support to take the gold in the Olympics. And so it's so important for her to really put herself on the podium for the next couple of months and be the #1 hope for the Chinese nation.
As we there see Tine BAUN coming out, world #7, and I think we can now go across to your commentator, Julian Clark, at the Hong Kong Coliseum.
Really was magnificent. Took the opening game against the new world #1, Wang Xiaoxian, 21-10. Should have won in 2 straight games, in all honesty, because she was 16-9 up in the second. And somehow managed to lose that before coming back 21-13 in the decider. So after the toss of the coin, the players will change ends. There is quite a significant difference between the 2 ends with the drift in this arena. 32 years of age, Tine BAUN. For Wang Xin, in her 5th final of the year. And rather ominous for the Dane. Every time that Wang Xin has reached the final, of a tournament she's played. She's won 39 and 9. And that translates into those 4 titles, including 3 Super Series and the last 2 Super Series, which were in Denmark and Paris in France. So her path through to today's final, well, all of her matches in 2 straight games, including that semi-final over the #1 seed, the world champion and 2009 winner of the Hong Kong Open, Wang Yihan, 21-12, 21-18. Just 32 minutes for that semi-final. Whereas Tine BAUN, number 7 in the world rankings, number 7 seed. Only 9 in the Super Series rankings, though. But she'll definitely qualify for the Super Series finals because there's 4 Chinese players above her in the Super Series ranking, and you're only allowed 2 players per nation in those Super Series finals. So Tine BAUN, well, as I say, her semi-final was a marathon match, but let me draw your attention to that quarter-final as well, against last year's champion, the number 4 seed, Saina Nehwal of India. Very impressive in that too. So she's been in very good form, but that is an ominous statistic, isn't it? This is the 9th meeting, and Tine BAUN yet to record a victory.
On my left, Xin WANG, China. Xin to serve. Love all, play.
So the women's singles final gets underway at the Yonex Sunrise Hong Kong Open. And given the statistic that this is the 9th meeting and Tine BAUN has yet to record a victory over the left-handed Wang Xin. Wang Xin, the overwhelming favourite. This is the 3rd meeting this year. In the last 4 meetings, Tine BAUN has failed to even win a game.
2-1.
That's gone wide.
3-2.
That's a lovely angle. It's strange how different styles of play.
3-4.
People can have problems with one particular style, and it's always been a problem for the tall Dane playing against Wang Xin. Not quite sure what the reason is, whereas she's enjoyed a lot more success against Wang Yihan, the world champion, beaten by this woman in the semi-final yesterday. Oh, that's a perfect clear. Attacking clear. Punch deep into the forehand corner of Wang Xin. Danish coaches. Denmark have only won the women's singles title here in Hong Kong twice, and both occasions it was won by the same Dane. Camilla Martin winning this title in 1998, having won in 96 as well. It's a terrific attacking clear from Tine BAUN deep into her opponent's forehand corner. Brought her to the front and pushed her to the back once more. Look, she's having to turn and take that shuttle quite late. That's why she made the error. Yeah, she's obviously decided that's a tactic deep in the forehand side. There's another one. And another. Good rally. More intensity in this women's singles final than we saw in the men's singles. It's going to go well wide. Still a run of 4 straight points.
6-8.
Well, missed the easy one.
9-7.
Just long. It was a real opportunity for Tine BAUN. It's gone wide. Yeah, well, what the Dane is doing so well in these early stages is getting the shuttle behind Xin. Already seen her pumping the shuttle deep into the forehand corner, and that rally managed to make the left-hander turn and play the high backhand. Always a sign that the player is in trouble. It's Xin who has the narrowest of possible advantages in the mid-game interval. Yeah, just long. Good call by the line judge. Min,
20 seconds. 20 seconds.
current Olympic champion, two-time Olympic champion. And two-time winner of this event, 2003 and 2005. There wasn't a Hong Kong Open in 2004. Good use of the body smash there. Oh. Wow. It was called good. Immediately, Tine BAUN looked to the umpire, who nodded his approval. Well, we won't be able to see it from this angle. But I have to say, my instinctive reaction was that that was wide. I'm looking straight down that line. Must have been desperately close. I don't mind seeing that again. No, another great call by the line judge. That's just a fraction long. What a good flick serve. She couldn't have walked over to opponent's side of the court and placed that shuttle any better than that. That's a good rally. Oh, that's good judgment too, my goodness. Margins between success and failure, hitting the line or missing it. Ah, that's tiny. That's another great call by the line judge. Oh, that's not a bad drop shot either. And now the Dane back into the lead. Both these players former world number ones, of course. Great tactics from Xin. Great placement of the smash. Level once again.
15-all.
Bit of frustration creeping into Tine BAUN, yelling at herself at the end of that simple error. Now, our opponent repays the compliment. Gifted point. Worked the rally well, did Tine BAUN, and the final shot. Really should have made more of that, because she'd pushed her opponent to the back, brought her forward, pushed her to the back again. Typical singles tactics. Try and outmaneuver your opponent, use every inch of the court. Oh, brilliant net exchange. That's a terrific rally. Well, Tine BAUN doesn't like the call.
18-17.
Miss it. A little squeal of delight from Wang. That's brilliant. Clever disguise and calm thought process. 3 straight points to earn herself 3 game points. It's gone long. First time of asking in the opening game. To number 3 seed Xin WANG of China, 21-17. Just 15 minutes required for that, 21-17. Well, it's really good to see that both these players have a female coach on court giving them advice. Of course, Xin having 2 coaches helping her. Well, one of them, the reigning Olympic champion, Zhang Ning.
20 seconds. 20 seconds.
Well, Xin, world number 3, making her 3rd appearance here at the Hong Kong Open. Past 2 years, she's lost in the semi-final. Will it be 3rd time lucky? Won the last 2 Super Series events. Can she make it 3 in a row? For the Dane, Tine BAUN. Tall order now psychologically for her to come back. Never beaten Xin in 8 previous meetings. aggressive rally there from Tine BAUN. Power smash, then follows forward. Knew that the reply had to be a block to the net. Good commitment from the Dane. And once again, she's not convinced by the call.
4-2.
Well, that's the way the drift is going. So the shuttle will be taken out of court on that left-hand side as we look down.
Serve zone. 3-4.
Got to be awfully careful with that cross-court smash with this drift. Got to have the mental discipline, the European champion now. There's a couple of unforced errors. Got to stick to the game plan. Sign of desperation, sign of lack of belief. Well, I know it's awfully easy for me to sit here and talk about mental discipline. Is very, very much more difficult when you're down on court, I can assure you of that. Five straight points now to Wang Xin. Oh, great court coverage. Oh, magnificent. What an excellent rally. Both players playing and moving so well in that rally. Landed in.
10-4.
And a 7-point advantage at the mid-game interval for Wang Xin. Yeah, whole body language, oozing confidence.
20 seconds.
Well, Rikke Olsen using all of her allotted time to try and encourage Tine BAUN. using the drift to her advantage. Seems to be in cruise control now, Xin. That's good, that's right into the corner.
6-13.
Has to start making inroads, does the European champion. That'll do very nicely. A real concerted effort in that rally from the Dane. So much disguised with her overhead shots, Xin.
14-7.
Well, it hit the top of the tape and bounced over.
Service over. 8-15.
Swayed the body one way, looked as if she was going to flick it to the back and then just guided the shuttle towards the net. Lovely play. And that's on, and time is running out for Tine BAUN.
17-8.
Really is a case, I think, now. Well, it's got to be now or never. Tine BAUN wants to come back in this. Put on so much, under so much pressure. Right, from the onset of the rally.
18-9.
Oh, she's tried the flick. Xin hit the smash winner. Tried the low serve, now trying the high serve. At least got her into the rally. Yeah.
11-18.
Hit the top of the tape, had a little look and decided not to go over. And a gasp from the crowd here at the Hong Kong Coliseum. just 2 points away from the title now, Wang Xin. Oh, that's a super shot. No, she won't give up, that's for certain.
13-19.
For that aggressive play from Wang Xin. Brings up 7 match points against the world number 7. Still another 6 opportunities. And this time, second time of asking. And the world number 3, Wang Xin, takes her 3rd consecutive Super Series tournament title, having won in Denmark and France last month. Now takes the Hong Kong Open, her 5th title of the year. There's confirmation of the score, 21-17, 21-14 in exactly 30 minutes of play. There's the final rally. Keeps a 100% record against Tine BAUN. 9 times they've played, 9 times she's won. And more importantly, she's won her first ever Hong Kong Open title.
Wang Xin，恭喜你！那么在香港拿了冠军了。那我们知道呢，你在国内呢有这个外战女王的称号。那你觉得对外对的时候跟对自己中国队有什么不同？你有什么秘诀呢？
Really dominant performance over Tine BAUN. It's their 9th meeting and her 9th win. And Kiki, what's Tine BAUN got to do in this Olympic year to beat these girls?
Well, I mean, despite the fact that Tine BAUN lost this final pretty comprehensively to Wang, I still think that for her, this was a pretty good week. She hasn't been in the final for quite a while, and it looks like she is starting to get her form back. So these are positive signs for the Danish girl, but maybe more importantly, what's happening with Wang is this is a 3rd Super Series win. She's won in the European continent, she's gone back to Asia now, she's jet-lagged, she's won in Hong Kong, and there's a few more Super Series coming up. And her standing in the Chinese side, I think, is definitely going to go up. And is she now going to be the golden girl that the Chinese believe is going to take the gold for China in the Olympics? Pretty important phases he's going through, and I'm sure that some of the higher-ranked players, of course, the 2 other Wangs, 2 and 1 in the world, are really looking over their shoulders right now and saying, what's happening here? Wang Xin is coming on really fast, like a bullet train.
Yes, of course, her 5th title this year, 3 Super Series, as you say, and you know, not surprising in sparkling form, and really comprehensively beating Tine BAUN there, and you know, really showing her credentials for Olympic gold next year.
Well, what's so impressive about her win today is that she did not allow Tine BAUN to play her best badminton. I've seen Tine BAUN play much better, long, strong rallies from the back of the court, but Wang Xin just able to control the court and make Tine BAUN extremely uncomfortable, having to play a game plan and playing shots that she's just not comfortable with. And if she can do that, I could see her as a clear number 1 in the world. And as we see now, the ladies coming up to their to collect their prizes, the little girl down the right, Wang Xin, really looks like she could be a number 1 in the world on the women's badminton.
Yes, and of course Wang Zhang, 5'5", 120 pounds. Tine BAUN, 70-odd kilos and 5'9½". So she had quite a height advantage over Zhang in that. But you know, again, the skill was just there. It was just a skill factor that you know, was just far better.
Yeah, and Wang there, of course, also using her smaller size to be very agile, very quick around the court, very hard to catch her off balance. And I think her court coverage today was far better than Baun's, and that's, of course, is so key. Badminton being such a positional game, obviously you have to be able to hit and execute the shots, but it's really about getting into the right position and then executing. In that way you can get to climb the very highest echelons of the sport.
This year by Wang Xin, her fourth Super Series title of 2011, her fifth title of the year. Oh, my goodness, isn't she in form? Won in Odense in Denmark, the Danish Premier Super Series event. They followed it up the week later in Paris, winning the French Super Series. And so the Super Series tour moved on to here in Hong Kong, which has won this too.
Next we have Mr. Redmania, Permanent Secretary of Home Affairs, to present the trophies. Next we have Mr. Hua to present the prize money. Thank you, Mr. Ko.
Total prize fund of $250,000 US.
We have Chairman Mr. Tong Wai to present the good grades.
And the memento from OSAM, our title sponsors. And the presentation party will pose with the two finalists. Ah, that's nice. Wang Xin inviting Tine BAUN to share the top of the podium. Look at the height difference between the two players. Tine BAUN towering over Wang Xin. So that's 3 of our 5 finals have been completed. The next match on court will be women's doubles. All Chinese affair in a repeat of the World Championship final. And then our last match following the women's doubles will be men's doubles, and the number 1 and 2 ranked pairs in the world.
And there we have Wang Jing capping off a fantastic day for China in the badminton, winning the ladies' singles against Tine BAUN. And of course, earlier on in the day, we saw the mixed doubles with Zhang and Zhao taking that. And of course, Lin down there in the middle taking the men's doubles. All in all, a fantastic day for the Chinese badminton players, really showing their dominance at this tournament, and indeed most of the tournaments with the run-up to the Olympics next year.
Yeah, it's always great to see when you see the top-ranked players playing at the best, and of course here at home court, in the backyard, they want to put on a great show, and you have to say that all the favorites today really lived up to what they're supposed to do, and that was to get on the top of the podium, and they all played very strong, and it bodes very well for the rest of the season, and of course the Olympics coming up in 2012.
So we hope you've enjoyed our badminton coverage, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, take care.